Right, we're all clear. Andrea? Wherever you are. Right, let's chat to the intercom to finish off this research.
Hello? Oh, took care of the spacers, huh? Okay.
All gone.
Now to finish off the research, you're gonna need to collect a sample of hematite to run through the thresher. Grab a laser cutter and head back to the chamber where you came in. Once you've got a sample, thresher's the big machine in the next room. Passcode to start it is Ares 2330. Take care of all that, and we'll have Percival's name cleared in no time.
I think you may be trying to take a little too much on. Literally.
Can't tell me what to do, Andrea. I need all this stuff. Oh, it's been a while since we've done this. Got him. Oh, there isn't a last one there. Well, that's fine then. Oh yeah, let's have a look at some of these things. Exterminator Shotty. Oh wow. We got a lot of new things. Oh, some new weapons. You know, I love myself a search. We can sell it eventually.
Password accepted. Initiating analysis. Contact process complete. Adding to system rotation. Completing. Process complete. Collecting documentation.
Okay, nice.
All set? Good. You can take the elevator in that room back to the surface. There should be a key stashed in the thresher room, if the spacers didn't make off with it. I'll be waiting at the circle.
Okay. Nice. Alright, let's get back out there. Right. Let's get to the surface. Come on.
Without life, there is the potential for beauty.
It is very beautiful, this place, isn't it?
Visually pleasing.
Hey.
You've got the slate. Let me see. Reduced joint wear? Oh, increased lifting capacity. A dose of this stuff could make a miner way more efficient.
Oh.
Formula's gotta be worth at least as much as whatever Percival owes. Okay, so here's what you do. Tell Octai and the Trade Authority you found a business proposal that will make miners more efficient, higher yield, synergy, you know, all that business crap. And that you'll trade it to him for clearing Percival's debt. You good at doing pitches and stuff like that?
I could give it a whirl, sure.
Oh, this is gonna be great. Oh, and here, a copy of the formula for yourself, in case you ever wanna try maximizing your own industrial output. Oh, use that if you can. Good luck.
Thank you. Let's get
If you're gonna use the elevators or stairs to reach the other...
So it looks like the trading got oh. Alright, Andrea. Okay. Oh. She wanna get out the elevator. She must not like it like me. Hey.
Was there something else?
I have a business proposal for you. A lucrative one.
I'm never one to turn away an opportunity. But I'd be curious what you think you've uncovered in the Martian market that others have missed.
Turn. Sorry. Give me 1 second. Okay, made from aqueous hemite. What? Okay, I called it pick me up.
Aqueous hematite, iron and wastewater. Well, I'm not surprised no one has proposed something like this before. And exactly what does this new drug of yours do?
Makes the miners more efficient. I've got the data here to prove it.
An interesting proposal, if your data pans out. But where's this hematite coming from? The active mines would be too expensive to retool. The deep mines could be an option, but they're full of spacers. Or so I've heard.
I already cleared them out. Won't cost you a credit to get started.
Well now, that is intriguing. A completely untapped resource pool, and the sort of utility every mining firm in Sidonia would be clamoring to get their hands on. We could contract out all the actual lab work, bring on one of the hungrier mining concerns for materials, the licensing fees alone. And think what it would do for our image with the general populace. This mine, reopened thanks to the Martian Trade Authority. Very interesting indeed. And what do you want for the rights to this drug?
I want you to clear Percival's debt.
Dr. Walker's dead? That's it? Consider it wiped. Well, it seems we have a deal then. And here, a finder's fee from the Authority. A perfectly reasonable amount for a discovery with this sort of potential. Wouldn't want you feeling shortchanged down the road. We'll just be taking that slate before you have any second thoughts. It was a pleasure doing business with you, Captain.
You're welcome. I reckon I could have got a ton more money from there. There we go. Hopefully it'll give me Percival's location now.
Yeah?
I took care of Percival's debt to the Trading Authority.
Did you now? Fine work. My end of the bargain then, I suppose. He's holed up in the old Red Devil's HQ. Place was sealed up tight after the UC shuttered our unit, but we snuck him in the back entrance through the deep mines. Was also going to warn you about spacers down there. But it sounds like you might have already tossed those dregs. Yeah, the passkey. And I'll let him know there's someone he owes one hell of a thank you on their way down.
Oh, okay, nice. Right, so is it back to the mine we've just been to? God, this is a big place underneath here, isn't it? This must be the mine then. So that... I do want to see if I just missed anything. Oh, hello. We definitely need to improve our lockpicking skills. I needed a bunch of sealant, so I'm glad I got that. You alright, Andrea? I can hear your little tippy toe somewhere. Oh. She's just taking a back seat, I think. Just chilling out. Oh. Bunk. Let's keep going. Oh.
You must be the one who got me out of the red with the Trade Authority.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate it, but I doubt you came all this way just to do me a favor. Now you want to explain to me why you're going around harassing nefarious old men by wiping away their hard-earned debts?
Dr. Walker, I've got a tissue sample for you. I need it analyzed. Full workup.
Tissue sample? You came all the way down here for that? Must be some damn important cells. You want to tell me what I'm about to be staring at?
Oh god. Terramorph cells from a world too young to have one.
fast-growing terramorph. That is concerning. Who exactly told you to bring this to me?
Someone who says she was an old colleague of yours.
A colleague hunting terramorphs. Mother of God. Adrian sent you, didn't she? If she made you come all the way for this. Let's get inside. I need to see these cells.
Yeah, sure thing.
Gonna ask you to not touch anything. Got some projects in the works down here. I wasn't expecting guests.
Don't worry, I won't.
And Lou mentioned how you took care of the dead. Can't say I'm thrilled the Trade Authority got their mitts on the research, but I guess that's the price you pay not to live in a cave the rest of your days.
Yeah. I thought it was a little just, you know.
All queued up. Let's gaze into this abyss, shall we? All right, just get those cellular markers tagged. Wait, where are the markers? This can't be right. This sample, it's Londinian.
What?
I'll need to get this all in a slate. Adrian really gave you this sample. You're not lying to me?
I killed...
If you told me this was a hoax, and it'd be the best damn fake I've ever seen, I'd be mad and very, very relieved.
The sample's not fake. I collected from the Terramorph myself.
Can't just humor an old man, huh? This sample, it's got all the indicators of the worst Terramorph attack in human history. I presume you've heard of Londinian.
Everyone knows about Londinian Terramorph attacks. There were vigils for weeks afterwards.
And for good reason. The swarms are so bad, they had to blow the spaceport and seal the place off from the galaxy at large. Not a lot of samples made it off the world from the time of the attack, but the ones that did, well, they look just like this one.
Oh no.
I didn't detect any of the telltale signatures this specimen ever sat on a ship while it was alive either. I don't think it was transported to Tal Ceti. This specimen, it grew there, faster than any Terramorph should. Which means, if we're about to start a new era in human-Terramorph relations, where big, sudden Londinian-style attacks can happen outside Londinian, that's not gonna end well for humanity.
The chances for survival, let alone maintaining any kind of functioning society, would be slim indeed.
So, you lugged this bad omen all the way here. You want to tell me what your plans are for it now?
Orders to take you and that analysis to Hadrian. She said she would be at the Sixth Circle.
The Circle, huh? Could use a drink about now. Here, faster we take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but given the circumstances, I'm inclined to just ask forgiveness. Let's get going.
Yeah. I think the lights down here must be a bit of a stripy lights. Right, that's mad. That's not good. Londinian was utterly destroyed by Terramorphs, and it was not good. You coming, guys? Come.
Ain't you brave, coming to see a bona fide tracker?
Who are you?
Hey, darling. You look like the type who doesn't mind getting their hands dirty. The Trackers Alliance can always use more bounty hunters to round up and kill wanted criminals. If that feels like your speed, talk to me. Or check out our posts on the mission boards.
Oh, I'm looking for bounty hunter work.
So, you're fixing to take yourself on a little bounty hunt. Well, look no further than the Broken Spear. The Trackers Alliance posts jobs on the mission board over there. Big old console, can't miss it. Now, look, much as I'm itching to get back out there and take down wanted marks on my own, I can't help you any more than that. So, don't come crying to me if you can't hack it, you hear?
I could help you out if you, with a job if you're paying.
Good. Here's the short of it. I'm only stationed here because I made a mistake. Killed the wrong bounty, and the right one got away.
Oh.
Me ever since. Now, I heard rumors that this no-good, dirty quarry's been lurking around Mars, but I ain't had the good fortune of him strolling on in here. I think he's smart enough to know better. I got a plan in place to find him, but I gotta prove to my other tracker contact that he's here. That's where you come in. Just gotta plant a sensor. No danger to you.
I'm in.
Alright, so you're gonna want to take this here sensor and put it way up at the tippy top of the old Mars launchpad tower where it's nice and unobstructed. You're gonna want to make sure you've got a boost pack to help get yourself up there, or else it's gonna be a tough climb. Mars gravity's on the low side, but not that low. It'll track down my Mark's chip signal, assuming he shows, and I'll call in my partner to take care of him. Clear out and come back to me as soon as you're done so you don't spook the quarry. Get it? Got it? Good.
Got it. I'll do that. I'll have to check out these bounty missions. Hunting down criminals and bring them to justice.
That warning klaxon still startles me every time.
Really, bro? Adrian.
Percival. My God, look at you. You're an old man now.
You're no hassling yourself anymore, Major. Our friend here showed me your sample. Suffice it to say,
Not here. Let's talk somewhere more private. Lou said we could use the back.
There's an intercom right there.
Lou gave me the abridged version of what went down. Yeah, I can't thank you enough for taking care of all that.
makes two of us.
I hope it ultimately didn't end up being too much trouble.
A little more gunfire than I usually like, but my delivery jobs. Well, I mean, a little bit more gunfire than I usually like on my delivery jobs, but nothing I couldn't handle.
Well, that's certainly not what I was expecting you'd have to go through. But thank you. I'm just glad you both came through intact. So, were you two able to get that workup together?
Got it right here. That sample? It's an exact match for the ones from Londinian.
Londinian. That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Not thrilled to be the bearer of that kind of news. That's for damn sure. So tell me you've got some kind of plan for that workup.
Well, right now, we've got more questions than answers. So I've been trying to figure out what it's gonna take to access our old Terramorph data.
Good place to start. What'd you find?
It's in the archives.
The Armistice Archives? Doesn't that mean we'd be dealing with the Cabinet? And the Freestar Collective? And House Varun somehow? Guess we can kiss that approach goodbye.
I didn't think the cabinet would be willing to hear us out either. But I called in some favors. They've agreed to hear us out on two conditions. One, they want to see this analysis you two have procured. And two, they want to discuss what happened on Tau Ceti. With both of us.
Only ever read about the cabinet in civics class. Never expected I'd get to talk to him.
It can be a daunting experience. Which is why I wanted to make sure, before you agreed to anything, we gave you the whole truth. Percival and I, we're not just researchers. We were military scientists, ran a division of the UC together that deployed aliens on the battlefield as weapons.
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base.
After some early fits and starts at other facilities, the place eventually became the heart of UC xeno-warfare. A practice that's been banned ever since the armistice went into effect almost 20 years ago. And the UC military cut us loose for what we'd done.
I actually know who you are and your past. Well, that's none of my business. Still doesn't explain why the Terramorph data is doing in the archives.
Well, it was during that assignment that the UC asked us to explore deploying Terramorphs on the battlefield. The project never got off the ground, but the data our team gathered is now sitting in the archives, along with all the other information banned after the Colony War. Under the watchful eye of monitors from all the galactic factions still participating in regular politics. But if we can convince the cabinet to help us access that data, It'll give us the tools we need to decipher what exactly this sample might mean. And hopefully, how to prevent more attacks like the one that spawned it.
Okay. Okay, then let's chat to the cabinet.
All right. I'm gonna go get this work up into the cabinet's hands. I'll meet you out front of Mast in New Atlantis.
Good luck. You two are gonna need it.
Yes?
God. Okay. This sounds like a, sounds proper dangerous. So was the... Alright, so we got... Speak with Trevor. Let's speak with Trevor. Because I think it's one of our activities we've had. Hey.
It's fair work, but you can't take it all so seriously, I always tell my mates. We're pulling rocks out of the ground, not building spaceships. Welcome, welcome. Nice to meet you. Name's Trevor, mining director for the Deimos mining project here in scenic underground Sidonia. I could spare a minute or two to chat, so long as you're not looking for mining work, I suppose.
I usually do mining work for Argos. I was hoping you'd have some work, but it doesn't sound like it.
Argos, huh? Yeah, I've heard of them. That's great, but yeah, unfortunately all our mining contracts are filled right now. Unless, maybe you could help me out with a job. Off the books.
Depends on what it is. Let's see what you've got first.
Great! I promise it's nothing that'll get anyone in any kind of trouble. See, you might have noticed that our equipment ain't exactly holding together like it used to. Problem is, we can't get new equipment unless we start exceeding our quotas. And we can't do that until we get new equipment. A real dilemma, right? I've got a plan for solving our little problem, though.
Sure, tell me the plan.
Okay, glad you're still on board. First, I need someone from the outside to bolster our yields so we can prove that we can exceed our quota. I'll fill you in on the rest of the details after you've hauled up some ore. One standard quota should do. I need to know I can trust you with the easy stuff first.
Sounds easy, I'll do it.
You've got enough? Drop it off in the bin over there for processing. Then come see me.
Okay, in the bin.
Would like to join.
Ah, these are the guys, okay. Destroy the Crimson Fleet Ghost 2 at Andromedas. Andromas. Alright, I guess we'll go with this one. Oh dear. Probably should have had a nap.
Captain! Over here!
I'm over here.
The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place.
Oh.
I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin, a title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
Wow, okay. The Ve Vindictus must have been an impressive commander for the UC to want to clone him.
He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death, on both sides.
Oh.
Freestar Collective and UC. Military and civilians.
Oh.
The things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned.
You're not your father. If the cabinet doesn't see that, that's their problem.
I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already.
Holding a grudge against where a person comes from, that is both ignorant and cruel.
Just the way things are sometimes. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or, if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here.
So, honestly, what are the risks of us accessing this data?
Eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed.
Oh.
The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise.
Gotcha. Any suggestions what I should say to the cabinet?
Well, thinking about it more, I suspect there'd be value in sharing the fact that the Terramorph project was, well, a failure. There's no need to be afraid of this data being weaponized. Knowing that should calm some of the cabinet's fears and make it easier for us to dispel any suspicions the other factions might have about our intentions.
Alright. Are you willing to tell me any more about your father?
I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being Fleet Admiral to deal with kids. I was raised by a pair of Guardians instead.
Oh.
Until his defeat during the Colony War, though, he was known as an extremely effective commander. Savvy. Perceptive. That mind opened a lot of doors for him. And for me, too. But Ve Victus, for all his ability, was heartless. Ruthless to a fault. In the end, that's what cost him his life.
Yeah. Your eyes, they're red. Is that a result of the cloning process?
That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift.
Okay, that's cool.
Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue.
Does, doesn't it? Oh. Hey, everything okay?
I wanted to thank you for giving me the chance to work with you. I know we met under, unusual circumstances. You seem to be acclimating well to Constellation. Are you enjoying working with them?
Yeah. Yeah. It's certainly not like anything I've done before.
I think none of us were expecting what we have found. Well, perhaps Matteo.
Probably.
You have certainly become a vital part of the organization. That is a credit to your abilities. If I may, from what you have seen, do you think I fit in well with the rest of Constellation?
If you're asking, I presume you feel like you don't. Fitting in is overrated.
Perhaps, but it is still important to me. I feel as though I am often looking in at the rest of the group. I do not like this feeling. I would like to feel that I am a valued member of the organization, but I am concerned that I am off-putting, or my actions have alienated me. I have not shared much, but everyone knows I worked with smugglers for years. I am no stranger to violence and death.
Accepting the unfamiliar can be hard for people. I'm sure what you did, you had to do. Sounds like fun. You don't seem bothered about your past. Accepting the unfamiliar can be hard for people.
I know. For those that have not lived it, it can be difficult to imagine or accept. Others here have seen conflict, but for more noble causes. Vladimir is the only one here who can begin to understand. He was the one who pressed the group to include me. I lack his charm. He puts others at ease. I fear my presence does the opposite.
You've had my back, and that's all that matters. Don't worry so much what the others think of you.
Of course. You have given me an opportunity the others have not. Perhaps I just need more time. I know this seems trivial. Perhaps childish. I have just always relied only on myself. I have never been surrounded by people like this. By a group I wish to be a part of. Does that make sense?
I don't think what you're saying is childish.
Thank you. That is reassuring. Discussing these things is challenging for me. I hope now you can better understand why I wanted to keep the circumstances of our meeting quiet.
I get
I
it.
wanted to thank you for not saying anything to Vladimir. I know that you said you wouldn't, but it is still a relief. I would like my contributions to Constellation to amount to more than violence.
It wasn't a big deal.
It would have been, to some. Thank you for talking this over with me. It is good to know that at least one member of Constellation understands me.
No problem. Right, let's convince these guys to not kick us out of the armor.
Captain, congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard.
Thanks. Hopefully this goes well.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Just following orders. Thanks, don't keep my ship fueled, man. Hadrian made it clear that addressing this issue required utmost urgency.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope will determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
Trying to figure out what we're facing, we can't make an informed decision without that data. We need the archive data to find out a way to stop the possible Terramorph apocalypse.
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask, how many deaths the cabinet requires to act? 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
Yes. It wiped out a colony. It's pretty alarming. Yeah, it wiped out a colony that never saw it coming. It's pretty alarming. I only know what I was told. The tissue masters from... Yeah, well, let's go with that.
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
Yes. If the fear is the data being weaponized, the terramorph program failed. That's not dangerous. If there's a chance what happened to SETI could happen elsewhere, we need to... Yeah.
You are correct, but it must be considered that with the data in hand, someone else could succeed where that program failed.
Andrea, you're not helping.
I'm proud of that, Captain.
An excellent point indeed. The other powers would likely be much more inclined to work with us knowing that. Chief Diplomat.
That point is a good one. Very well, you have my agreement. The galaxy is lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to...
Alright, weapons up.
Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Oh no.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
Okay. Oh, whoops. Oh, go on, guys. Let's get to the spaceport.
I also wish...
Right, new things. Where's that?
be prepared for any situation, but there are possibilities. Good one. Rainfall.
He just likes hitting people. Come on, get down. Come on, get down.
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting, I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready.
Damn it. Alright, sounds like we need to hustle.
Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Oh dear. Alright, we'll probably focus fire on the Terramorph then.
Back up! Don't just stand there!
Okay, let's... Uh oh. Get down. Almost gone.
Going to be okay. It's not real. Whatever you're experiencing right now is not real. We have to put down that morph.
Don't worry. I know. I know. Ooh.
Our experts? We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before, huh? Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
Try my best. Alright, we've got a few Terramorphs over here. Oh crap, they tore that that's not my ship, right? Right. Got that blue stuff. Can't get me up here. Ah, crap. Ah, you crazy monster. It's almost gone. It's a good job I have the high ground.
We made quick work of them, huh?
I'd like to have you study that. Smell will not be an issue.
Okay, another guy over here.
Stand still. I'm going to wear your skin.
Ugh. Lucky I need to You're taking fire. Luckily this one's a bit discombobulated by the looks of it.
It's everywhere.
Come on, throw my grenades.
Oh, hi. Oh,
This might require some
let them get me.
Here we go. I discombobulated it a little bit.
They're going to eat you alive.
Stay back. There we go. Nice.
Best not to leave anything loose.
Nice work, Captain.
Are we all clear?
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. Universe put the right people in the right place.
You all held the line. You're the heroes, not us.
Certainly doesn't feel like it.
I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
We definitely should. I need to get more ammo. That's quite infuriating. How much money do I have? 36 thou. Hopefully that'll be enough to grab some.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, there you are. I believe we have some things we should discuss.
You've got the Cabinet's full backing to prevent more attacks. Understand?
Don't you think that was a bit coincidental?
Captain, Hadrian, it would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Agreed, thank you.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed, first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
If you're sure that's the wisest course of action?
We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us?
And count on me, ma'am.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
Hello. Just killed UC citizens.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
Losing anyone in the line of duty is a tragedy. These attacks.
A Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require.
Who was that? Hey.
That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the Cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terramorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
It's where the Collective stashed all their best weapon technologies after the Colony War.
It was a mutual agreement, but I suppose you touch on the spirit of it. So, you also know then that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varun to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
You think they'd be clamoring to help after the spaceport attack?
I couldn't agree more. However, both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate. And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here.
That's fine.
Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
Huh.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun?
Let's do Balmore of House Varun.
Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
Actually, that sounds promising.
It does, but there's a concern. We're not 100% sure Balmore is actually still alive.
Oh.
His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
What do you mean?
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice.
I'll track him down.
I have no doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Of course. Tell me about Radcliffe.
The good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War.
Oh.
Her only goal in life is to make ours miserable.
It sounds as though I will enjoy this.
Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her. Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support. And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
Alright, no one could that be that stubborn, knowing that this was just attacked.
Never underestimate the universe's ability to surprise. That's why we have Plan B. UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
Oh, God.
But caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell. So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen. Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you.
It's all the info I need on Radcliffe.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up, you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise. And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there. Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
Sure thing. Oh dear, we've got a political mess to sort out now too, as well as trying to, you know, get everyone on the same side. It's gonna be a hell of a time now. Whew. Right, let's get started.